Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on the new chapter of One Piece, which is on chapter 845. Now, this chapter right here, it looks like things are starting to get really tense up and gonna get very dangerous from now on. Because right now, this chapter right here leaves us a lot of questions like what is really bound to happen, you know? So, if anything else, let's just get this recap started. We have to it that after Luffy gets his butt beat up, Nami was really asking him, "Are you really going to stay here, man? You know that we're gonna be attacked very soon, right?" He says that Nami says, but Luffy says he's determined to stay here, and if the army comes after him, he'll take him on, you know. And just by the look of the storm and everything else all together, it looks like the guy warns Nami that Big Mama's power is already starting to form right now. Like, she's in total rage of what's happening. Like, we have the wind, the rain, all coming down, and we have to it that Yonji's talking to Sanji that they're gonna hunt down Straw Hat Luffy, you know. And we have to it that the army is really starting to go after him, you know. And of course, Sanji knows that Luffy's not going to move from that spot, and he's really serious about this. And of course, when it came to like seeing how the rain is actually sweet rain, but candy, I think. But we have to it that Luffy's like saying, "I'm not gonna have a bite at all." He's gonna he's not gonna eat a damn thing unless it's from Sanji. So it looks like Luffy's really serious right now. Like he does not want to eat anything else unless it's from Sanji himself, you know. And it seems like things are starting to get really crazy for the time being. As for Big Mama, well, we have to it that like things are starting to starting to get a little tense now. Not to mention seeing how Big Mama's talking to freaking Judge Vinsmoke, saying like oh, I'm pretty happy to see that the marriage proposal is starting to be very good, you know. As for Sanji and everyone else, they're just eating, but those food is starting to talk right now, and we don't really care much about it. But we have to that Pudding decides to talk to Sanji privately, you know. As for Luffy, he is literally starting to get ready to go into combat mode, and he made his promise, and he sees the army. So you could say it's like 1,000 against 1, or possibly 2, because it's Nami and Luffy by themselves. But we have to it that we see Sanji and Pudding right now that that Pudding's starting to apologize to Sanji about what's been happening, you know. None of this shouldn't be happening, but we have to it that Sanji says, "Look, I have no other options right now, you know. Here's what's happened to me." And Sanji shows Pudding about like his wrist being in the bomb right now. And right now, Pudding's really starting to be a little like upset about seeing how this is happening. But Sanji also shows his beaten up face that's supposed to hide his face. But this family that I have, they're terrible. These injuries, I got nothing a joy of being born a royal. I've been kicked out, I've been beaten, and this is why I left in the first place, you know? And I try to find a place where I knew it would not exist. But if I try resisting this marriage, all my friends and my father will die and suffer the consequences. Especially my hands will be blown off, you know? Sanji even says, like, I decided to go with the flow with it and decide to go with it, you know? Otherwise, they'll just find them and destroy them. Pudding was really guilty about this and says that she's really sorry, but Sanji says, no, don't apologize, this is not your fault. And we all know how Sanji is towards women. He's very, very, very soft on them because Zeph raised him that way. And he even tells Pudding that everyone right here is like they're all my saviors, but my only wish is to disappear from all of their lives without hurting a single one of them. And he says that his adventure must end here. Although like Pudding's really crying about this, she says like I won't let this marriage of ours turn into that kind of hell for you, you know? Because after Pudding heard all of Sanji's like hellish times about how he's not happy with everything else, you know, and everything that he did not enjoy, Pudding promises him like I will say this, like I will not let this be this kind of hell, you know. And then by the time Pudding says, you must be having some kind of grudge against this marriage. I overstepped our boundaries and I apologize, you know? And Nami's really saying, as we see the fight between like Luffy and Nami are taking on the army, we have to it that Luffy's not stopping one bit. He's giving it all he's got right now and fighting for his life to meet Sanji. And right now, like Sanji's really happy to see that Pudding is saying that she's gonna put everything she's got not to give him any hell. And he goes like, you know, you are my savior right now. You know that? That's all I'm gonna tell you. And if you don't really mind it being me, then tomorrow let's do it. Let's get married. And I'm thinking in my mind, dang it, dude, this is really tense right now. You know? And I read the right translations when I read some ugly translations, which always turns out horrible. You know? It never makes much sense. But after reading this translations, oh man, dude, we're already in a tight pickle. Not to mention there is a break next week. So I go like, okay, that's fine, you know? Oda has been putting in a lot of work, you know, and people could like criticize him here and there being repetitive and so forth, seeing how like One Piece is turning bad. That's totally fine, you know? But for me, I just like it. Because there's nothing else I can read and nothing that could get me like tense and hyped up, you know? Anyways, one thing for sure, Luffy's standing his ground as Sanji is talking to Pudding and they might get married, you know, that kind of thing. How Sanji explains everything to Pudding and so forth, and how Pudding says, I will not allow you to go through that kind of hell if you marry me, you know? So it looks like Pudding's not a bad person, and I hope, and I'm really glad I was proven wrong that she is a bad person. What I'm trying to say is I thought she was a bad person later, but she's actually a good person in the heart, you know? I guess not all of Big Mom's children are like freaking total jerks in many ways to one. So to me, I'm really glad to see Pudding like giving out her compassion, or maybe compassion towards Sanji, and Sanji goes like, okay, if you really are fine with me, let's do it, let's get married, you know? And so forth. All I know is just like I don't know how this is gonna turn out, but one thing for sure is like it's gonna be very tense from here on out. So if anything else, I'll see you guys in my next video. So I'm out for Zitto. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Bye bye. Toodaloo.